whenever a teacher gets in trouble, you think that there's a
wish
bunch
that was
of
my
kids.
teacher.
I really do, because it brings me so much joy to know that someone who taught me was up to some criminal thing.
Well, the Monday in school would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Unless it's like that horrible fucking thing that happened recently, where that man killed his wife, who was the teacher.
yeah, obviously that's different, right?
Yeah.
That's not exactly what I was thinking about. Yeah, no, that would be bad. Yeah, that's true. And that's actually not, that isn't the teacher doing something bad. That's just a teacher being murdered.
Yeah,
a very different scenario.
It is different. Proves yet again, though I like fun, I have a very strong moral stance on right and wrong.
The Year Is with Red and Bobby.
Welcome to the Year Is podcast, the podcast where every episode, me and Red Richardson travel back to a year in history. We talk about the weirdest, the most interesting, and the strangest things from that year. And this episode is a special episode.
Why?
I think you know.
Why? I don't know. Go on.
Because you told me what year we're going back to.
We're going back to 2007, but I usually keep that as a surprise.
But then you told me there was something you didn't want me to say.
What? When was that?
You said you didn't want me to say that you lost your virginity in that year.
That's not the year I lost it. 1999.
You lost it when you were 8?
I was 10.
To another 10-year-old?
No. She was 48.
That's not virginity, right? That doesn't count as losing virginity.
No, it was me. I was I wooed her. No, I'm joking. Well, let's move on.
No, you don't want to talk about it.
That's not what I said, so I don't know why
you said you don't want to talk about it. Why is it a big deal?
It's not.
All I'm talking about is the year you lost. I'm not even asking what happened. You're just so uncomfortable with. Why are you so uncomfortable?
I didn't say that was the year.
Is it because your mom is listening?
My mum doesn't listen, I hope.
You're just worried.
Mum, yeah.
Wait, so is what you're worried about is that your mom will find out you're not a virgin? You're worried. If this was anything actually personal, I wouldn't push it. But you're worried that your own mom is going to find out.
Can we go for Jody?
That you've had sex. Red, I've had sex.
Really?
Not recent, not like today, but I've done it.
Yeah.
Jody's
done it. Jody does it all the time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've done it. Yeah.
Okay,
Jody's a doer, aren't you, Jody?
I am.
Yeah.
As Jody was pouring bleach onto a body, he said, "I've lost my virginity now." Just pouring bleach.
Wearing a prom dress.
Yeah. Wearing the girl's prom dress.
Oh, Jesus. 2007, Jody didn't want us to do this year. I knew when I picked this year, there was a reason we weren't meant to do this year.
Because Jody's had this Sopranos parody in his head for like a year and a half. We're supposed to imitate the Sopranos, right, Jody?
Intro. We're meant to do the Sopranos intro with me and Bobby in the car. Unfortunately, I've blown that wide open. We can no longer do that. But this was the year the Sopranos ended. I wasn't going to talk about that. I don't know why, because it's my favourite thing ever, the Sopranos.
No, but...
I didn't invite someone to my wedding because they said that they tweeted that it was shit.
Okay. But Jody, Jody, can you, just because we've blown it, can you explain your vision for the sketch?
This is what you're missing out
No,
on.
I'm going to cut all this. Isn't it going to be in the episode?
Why,
No.
Jody?
Jody, no,
He's got too much power now, doesn't he?
Jody, this is in the episode. Just tell us your vision.
Jody's a powerful man.
Yeah, restaging the opening of the iconic series, The Sopranos, because I know it's Red's favorite series. I've heard him talk about. That's where the idea.
Whose favourite series, isn't it? Shits on Breaking Bad.
You're Tony and I'm Christopher.
Yeah, I can see that.
Except
I can
if
see
Christopher kills Tony.
No,
Like
I can see that. I'm the
ending
boss. You're the
changes.
disappointing nephew.
No, not the disappointing nephew. Just the cool psycho who gets things done. The cool hot psycho.
No, I think you're Uncle Junior. Actually, you've got a.
I like that a lot.
Who's Jody? Jody's the priest who keeps coming round for lasagna.
Trying to fuck.
Carmela.
Yeah.
No, which character
I
do you
guess I'd be
identify?
the chef guy.
Artie Bucco?
Yeah.
No one's ever picked that guy for themselves.
No, I haven't, but I know that's the one.
That's
that
what I love about
me.
you, Jody. You just put your hands up and you go, "I'm the chef."
Yeah.
You're the pathetic friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My little brother's Janice Soprano. I tell him that all the time. Yeah. But no, I think it's the greatest show ever made. Is that fair?
Yeah, of course.
It really is. I remember people with Breaking Bad going, "That's the best. It's better than The Sopranos." And then you watch the finale where he sets off a fucking car with machine guns that open in the boot.
Spoiler.
Yeah, whatever. You've already seen. You blew it for me on this podcast.
I blew what for you?
The ending of Breaking Bad, because I didn't watch it till like last year. And it is like Jesse's really annoying actually if you watch it.
He's quite whiny.
You bitch.
Oh yeah, that gets tired. Yeah.
What's going on, you bitch? And you're like, oh, shut up. But yeah, then he has the little remote control fucking. And really, it's what doesn't make sense about that is he was like either going to be a science billionaire, but fell out with his mate, so he became a teacher. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? You don't just go, oh, it was either invent Google or work in a school. You know, there's levels.
It seems like he was a genius, so he probably could have done some other genius stuff.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, just in my physics spare time, inventing a little car boot machine gun thing, which is fucking stupid.
Should have went into the weapons industry.
Yeah, and any show that ends like that does not stand up to The Sopranos, and that's a fact.
I would like a Jesse in Alaska sequel.
I actually prefer. I like the film, and I did like Breaking Bad.
Camino.
Don't get me wrong, Breaking Bad was very good, very entertaining. But when you compare it to what I consider,
But you've never watched Better Call Saul.
I don't care enough for carry on. I thought he was a good character.
I think you, but there's.
I don't have time.
But it's like
I do not have time.
It's like you'd have so much time.
My schedule's like Condoleezza Rice's in 2002.
4
a.m. gym, 6 a.m. Zoom meeting.
What? Bobby, why do you think the podcast isn't bigger? Well, sometimes we maybe use references that most people don't quite like, maybe aren't considered current,
Okay, well,
like
Condoleezza Rice
in 2002.
was a lady in 2002.
She still is.
Yeah, well, you don't know that, but yeah. And, in Bush's cabinet, and had a notorious and infamous schedule where she would get up at 4, run for an hour, and then plan war in Iraq.
You know what I think?
What?
The people where you always know how busy they are, it's just like a trick where they just tell everyone how busy
They're
they
not that
are.
busy.
No one's that busy. I mean,
Well,
I'm
you
sure,
saw Mark Wahlberg's
I'm sure
schedule.
she was busy, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's these people who are saying, yeah, I'm so busy. And it's like, the so busy people are always really annoying.
Yeah. And also, if you're that busy, why are you writing about how busy you are?
Yeah,
Surely you should be
just
doing
do
stuff.
your shit.
Did you remember the Mark Wahlberg schedule?
No.
Oh, I'll read that out. That's funny. Mark Wahlberg tweeted about his schedule, and it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It sounds like a terrible life. It's like, mate, you're a millionaire. So here we go. This is what happens. Typical day schedule for Mark Wahlberg. 2:30 a.m. Wake up.
That's crazy.
2:45 prayer time. 3:15 a.m. breakfast. It's like, if you're Mark Wahlberg, why are you still praying? You fucking want it. 3:40 to 5:15 a.m. workout. 5:30 a.m. post-workout meal. 6 a.m. shower. 7:30 a.m. golf. 8 a.m. snack. 9:30 a.m. Cairo chamber recovery. 10:30 a.m. snack. 11 a.m. family time.
all of this impressive schedule just so he doesn't have time to commit another hate crime.
Yeah, basically.
He's like, must plan every moment, so don't say anything racist.
But what happens if his kids come up to him at like 6 a.m. or 7:30 a.m., which is golf?
I don't think
and he goes, get the fuck. It's 3 hours till family time.
His kids
fuck off.
His kids don't get to see him until he decides.
No, 11 a.m. they do.
Also, do you know what's crazy about that?
11 to 1 is family time.
Everyone's acting like this is really impressive, but it's like, man, you could go to bed 3 hours later and then wake up 3 hours later. You don't have to make your day when everyone else is asleep.
Yeah.
You can just that whenever people wake up at 5 a.m., it's like, yeah, but you're still getting like 7 hours sleep, so you could have just went to bed a bit late. I don't know.
7:30 bedtime he has.
I'm not
He
impressed.
eats dinner at 5:30 like a child.
like a little boy.
What's for dinner? He says his fish fingers at 5:30 p.m. Like a kid whose mum wants him to go to bed.
But the thing is, I guess he is in sync with the sun, which makes you feel better.
Yeah.
There is a certain...
It just sounds like a crap life. I thought you got famous to not do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's quite a heavy schedule. Very not dissimilar to what I'm doing at the moment with my workouts.
When you hit a punching bag for 10 minutes.
No, I do 45 minutes on the bag. Insane cardio. Brutal strength. There's whispers going around the gym. They're getting louder and louder about me.
I think, yeah, people are saying, I think that guy's going to die. I think that guy, I mean, how hard he's going and what he looks like, it's not going to work out for him.
Yeah. The other day I was hitting the bag so hard they just came in one of those electric shock heart things. Stood by me.
They were like, hey, I know we were talking about this, but yeah, we really should get a defibrillator.
Yeah.
I really think it's like the time to do it.
Yeah. No, it's brutal.
The thing with getting a defibrillator for your business is like, you're just trying to save someone's life who generally hasn't taken care of themselves. Like anyone can have a heart attack, but you know.
Yeah.
It's more likely if you treat yourself like dog shit.
Yeah, but they still deserve a chance.
They deserve a chance,
We
but why
deserve
is
a
why does the business have to pay? I think you should buy the defibrillator for your
as
box of
cost of living crisis. The
this
workers are on strike, and Bobby thinks Rishi Sunak isn't.
No, he's not conservative enough.
Well, if you didn't look after your legs, why should I pay for the wheelchair?
Exactly.
It's not my fault your mum gave birth to you wrong.
I forgot to say I've won the lottery. I'm a millionaire now, and I've weirdly moved into libertarianism.
Yeah.
I'm a libertarian now. I think everyone should pay for themselves.
You bought Epstein's Island with Katie Hopkins, and you're both going to move there.
Well, now that
I want to be around scum.
Now that I have millions because my lottery win, I really think that everyone else should pay for themselves the way I am.
No, that's what happens, isn't it? You get money, and then you go, maybe I'm not as left-wing as I thought I was.
Yeah. It turns out they're quite whiny, the left wing. I don't call them, I call them the left-wingers now.
Left-wingers.
Left-wingers or leftists.
What about left-wingers?
That's not what I call them, but that's what they are.
Yeah. Shut up.
Yeah. That's the name of my next special.
Yeah, well, we're moving. We're drifting. There's a lot of money in the...
We've had the Red Richardson special. Now we have Bobby Mair. Shut up. That's the new
I like
one.
that. And it can be you like this.
Yeah, with my thumb up. Or no, not my thumb, my finger up to the man. And the man is everyone that doesn't agree with me.
That's good.
Which is most people.
That is very good.
But my thumb is up. It's like this. I have the middle finger, but also the thumb up. So the thumb is for the people who agree with me.
Yeah.
And the finger is for most people who are also not white millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's good.
No.
Have you seen that Calvin Robinson guy? You know, the priest. He keeps going and protesting drag story hour.
Yeah.
But wears his priest collar. And you're like, mate, that outfit has upset a lot more children than...
yeah, buddy. You're the danger.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's great. Is it like a Catholic priest collar he's wearing?
No, I think he's Church of England.
Still, I mean, come on.
I know. It's like, read the fucking remate.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Anyway.
I think I want to throw, I was thinking about the other day, I really want to throw I mean, I don't care who reads stories to a child. I don't give a shit. Like, some of them are dressed funny, and then they read a story to a kid. I don't fucking care. It's not like the
anyone can read the story. As long as you're not going to, as long as you don't put the book down. And it's when you put the book down, that's when we judge what you do,
But
if you just read it.
I want to throw my own event, like fake one of these things just to get them all to come.
Yeah.
And then say, oh, guys, nobody showed up. I'm not very good at promoting I didn't know how to promote a drag storytime event. You guys want to come hang out with me?
Who's the worst person you could get to read an audio book for kids?
No, well, I put it on, but then the kids would be there. But then the drag people would show up, and then I'd say, Lawrence Fox, will you come and read the story for me? And then get him to read it, but then get the drag people to come out and dance around him.
I was thinking the other day, Bin Laden, when he was obviously all those years, he'd probably have a podcast now. Do you know what I mean? From the bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was in a mansion, but yeah, he could do it.
Imagine if he'd because he obviously probably did read bedtime stories to his kids. You've got to assume he did something.
I don't know what kind of father.
But imagine if you had Bin Laden audio reading all 8 Harry Potter books. That would go for loads.
I'd listen. I'd be like, can we got to release this as a special edition.
You just burst into tears when Dumbledore dies.
I think that's actually, you've literally stumbled upon his amazing niche, which is getting notorious criminals to read books.
Yeah. for children.
That's a great niche.
Episode 6, you hear the Navy SEAls
But
landing
you'd
on
have
the
to
roof.
get the approval of the author. That's the only issue. You know,
I don't know.
You,
If they're dead.
a bootleg version.
How many people have murdered Shakespeare's work? Amateur dramatic actors.
Oh yeah, you have to wait till they're dead. Once they're dead, they don't.
Yeah.
You can't. You can.
So
do
we got
whatever
Roald Dahl, James and the Giant Peach, read by
you want. Read by who?
Ian Huntley.
No.
Well, that's too bad.
No, yeah, it has to be somewhere in the middle.
O.J. Simpson could read all of them. To be fair, O.J. Simpson has the most relaxing voice.
I know he can do ASMR.
Hello, Twitter world. Hello, O.J. You're the only sane person left on this website. That's how bad it is.
He golfs a lot. He loves to
He's
golf.
so fucking reasonable on that.
Would I golf with OJ? Good question.
Yes, you would.
Of
You
course
100%
I would. I want to know what's up.
Do you see those kids, or they're called the Nelk Boys? I think they're like YouTube influence pranksters. They got them on their podcast. I saw like a clip of it, and it kind of backfired because I think they thought like, "Get fucking OJ on, baby," and then they got him on. It was like, actually, this guy is like massive and killed 2 people. Like,
yeah.
I'm not sure
Are
this
we
is-
really gonna poke this bear?
Yeah, I'm not sure this is as fun as we thought. It was
He's an
gonna
old
be.
man, but I wouldn't fuck with
No,
him.
no way. Beat the fuck out of you. Literally. Unbelievably. Yeah. Mm. So I'm just having my Fanta Zero sugar. I can't have any fucking sweets. I was meant to do cheat day on Sunday, didn't do it.
Wow.
I'm sacrificing for my body. No, my agent just kept getting sent Fat Man number 3. And they'd be like, Red is perfect for this. The clincher was I got offered the part of a fat stripper called Tragic Dave, and I went, it's time to lose weight.
Or put on weight, lean in. What if you just go the other way, Red?
Be in the whale too.
Be like the healthy fat guy.
Who's that? He died 5 years ago.
Yeah, they're all dead still, but people who know, but people where they say that guy's fat, they say actually he works out.
Yeah,
And people are
yeah.
like, really? I can't believe that. Based on how he looks and moves. And
Yeah.
like, he exercises.
Yeah.
What?
I was in, quickly, in Wales a few weeks ago. Someone cycled past me, Deliveroo driver,
Okay.
on a bike, and he said, Red! And I said, hello. And he tweeted saying he loved the podcast. So if you're listening on your Deliveroo run, good for you. Keep
Good
doing it.
for you.
Yeah, thank you very much. He had blonde, curly hair, sort of. Nice face on the boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was about 17, 18.
He was coming towards you, or you just saw the back? Did he recognize the back of your head?
No, cycling towards me. And he went, Red! And, I was just like, hey. No one around to see it. I was on the phone to my mum at the time, and I said, I think someone just... And she's like, whatever.
But now...
But then he tweeted me.
Yeah.
So maybe he's cycling around, he's delivering a burrito to some fat, lazy pig who can't be asked to get it themselves. And just remember, you're seen and loved.
So what year are we going back to?
2007.
Okay.
I was 18 years old.
You had sex with a
I
woman.
was in Milton Keynes, Asda car park.
That's where you had sex?
She was gorgeous. No, I'm joking. It's just a lie. Stop it. I'm lying for fun. Anyway.
You don't want to talk about the year you lost your virginity?
No, I don't. I want to talk about history.
What year did you lose your virginity, though?
I told you, 2009. When I was a hot 10-year-old.
To
To
2009, what?
Calvin Robinson. We were protesting Drag Story Hour for kids. And Calvin Robinson was looking dashing that day.
So you won't say what year it happened?
Well, no, I just want to talk about this,
Okay. What happened then?
I think what you'd be good at is having one of those nasty TV shows that are banned now.
Like Jeremy Kyle.
Like Ricky Lake or fucking
I'd be great.
Springer.
They're not banned. They're just less popular.
You would have been on Jerry Springer. There's a small... if you'd have stayed in Canada...
Would I be or would I be on? That's the question.
I think, no offense, someone related to you has been on that show. He's not quite you, but it's a cousin.
I can imagine that for sure.
Looks a bit like you. Just a
Hey,
few more wrong
I don't know
turns.
why you'd think that.
You're like 3 turns away from being on Jerry Springer.
I don't know why you think that.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, John Darwin, have you ever heard about this?
No.
He was a man who, him and his wife, they were in debt. And so he faked his own death to get life insurance.
Canoe Man.
Canoe Man, exactly. He went out on his canoe.
Wait, have we already talked about Canoe Man?
I don't think so.
We
All
talked
right.
about fucking everything on this pod.
Okay,
We've
Canoe
covered
Man.
it all.
Tell me.
He faked his own death. He was out on he went out on a canoe, disappeared, and everyone was like, "Oh, so sad." His kids didn't know, so they didn't tell the kids, which they could have done. The kids, I looked into what the kids are up to now. One of them's talking to him. The other one's like, "Fuck this guy." So John Darwin went out on his canoe in 2002 and went missing. He was presumed dead.
But that was like 6 years later, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 2002, so he was discovered in 2007
Okay.
to be alive because someone took a picture of them in Panama, or they took a selfie together, which is never smart. But what's funny, so he went out on his kayak at Seaton Carew. Him and his wife had purchased 2 houses. The debts caused the Darwins to talk about faking his own death to claim the insurance by early 2002. The whole coastline was searched. Everyone was suspicious because the North Sea's usually calm. Was unusually calm, and rescuers were puzzled that Darwin could have gotten into such trouble in such conditions. So he didn't even plan it that well, you know?
But he got away with it for how long?
Yeah, he lived in a bedsit next door to the family home and then secretly moved back in with his wife in February 2003. So he goes missing in 2002, and then by February the next year, he's hiding in the house.
It was in the attic, wasn't it?
Yeah, and because he was in a bedsit next door.
But then, did his kids know then?
Yeah, I think they found out then, but they spent a while thinking he was dead and were like, "Fuck you, Dad," you know. But his neighbour, Lee Wadrop, recognised Darwin and asked him, "Aren't you supposed to be dead?" To which Darwin replied, "Don't tell anyone about this." Imagine being
And
Lee
he listened.
Wadrop.
He listened.
Yeah.
He didn't tell anyone.
Wadrop later said he did not tell the police because he did not want to be involved. But he must have spent days, like, you could have ended up being sectioned. I saw... And they're like, "He's dead, you fucking lunatic." You know, you go, this guy's having psychotic delusions.
Yeah.
That's not nice for him. Woo! I didn't want to be involved. In 2004, the Darwins decided to move to abroad, considering Cyprus. John Darwin applied for and obtained a passport using the false name John Jones. That sounds like such a false name.
But then how did he, I guess, how do you get an ID? How do you, like, did he get it? Did he get the passport?
Yeah, he got the passport.
That's crazy,
Passport.
though.
Why do you keep saying passport?
How do you just get a passport with someone else's name on it?
I don't know. John Jones is actually the name of the UFC heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
He's a physical... So John Jones, the fighter, him and his 2 brothers are NFL players who have won Super Bowls. He is the greatest UFC fighter of all time, so they're just physical specimens. But he goes on, like, coke benders and then wins fights. It's insane. Very, very athletic family. He visits Cyprus, looks into buying a property there. In 2005, an angler named Matt Orty claimed to have met Darwin, who was going under the name John Williams at a lake near Penzance, Cornwall. He can't stay away from the water, can he? When back home, Darwin is reported to have spent most of his time on the internet, where he encountered a woman from Kansas in the US, whom he flew out to meet. So he starts cheating on his wife. He's not got enough on his plate. There's never enough deceit for John Darwin, is there?
But maybe there'd been a fracture.
Bobby, can you stop touching my big toe with your big toe? It's putting me off the record.
I didn't even know that's what it was.
Yeah,
I thought it was the ground.
Stop it.
I thought it was the ground, but now
It
that I
makes
know.
it really hard.
Why?
Not that big.
So you've never had big toe on big toe
No,
touching?
I don't like that. And you were like rubbing it.
I did. I was just shaking my leg. It just happened to rub your foot.
It's not ideal. Okay?
You make everything about you though. Someone happens to shake their leg, and then you're like, "You're rubbing my foot." I wasn't rubbing your foot.
Maybe you're rubbing your foot.
I was rubbing my own foot against your foot.
Okay, sorry. Easy to misunderstand that.
Thank you for the apology.
Anyway, so he has an affair. He's cheating on his wife whilst dead.
Okay.
By November, Darwin's back in the UK, flew from Newcastle to Gibraltar, and then travelled to El Porto de Santa Maria. Now we're talking, John. This is what I'd do.
On the run.
To view a 45,000 42-foot yacht, 42-foot catamaran, not yacht, sorry, that he was considering buying from a boat dealer. Fuck yes, John. This is more like it. Why would you fake your own death and move into a bedsit? You may as well
Have a boat.
have a boat.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
your mistress on the boat.
Yeah, get out of there. Die twice, John. So he goes to Panama, which sounds amazing. Him and his wife purchased a 200,000 tropical estate in the village of Escobal, Colon, Panama, near the Panama Canal. Incredible. They were going to buy a hotel for canoeing holidays when they were out there.
I like that he's on brand. He still loves canoeing.
Yeah,
he hasn't lost his love
for canoeing. But
the canoe's given him everything. It's given him hiding from his life.
I wouldn't want to stand near a canoe because it's easier for people to put two and two together, you know?
Yeah. Wait, are you Canoe Man? Canoe Man?
What's going on? Anyway, I wonder if in the hotel they could offer the service of not just the canoe trip, want to fake your own death as well.
Yeah.
So it's just men who want to go missing. Police investigation was started because Anne, John's wife, was overheard on the phone to John at work by a colleague.
I mean, look, if you're talking to someone who's supposed to be dead, use code names.
Yeah.
Say, hey, Frankie, how are you?
But it's his voice. Just don't take the call at work. They're really fucking this up.
They got really comfy.
Yeah. Anne buys a airline ticket for her husband. They go on holiday in Costa Rica. And then he gets homesick and starts missing his sons. And so he returns to England. There's a change in Panama's visa laws. And so they have to, like, verify their identity. So the John Jones alias. What was that?
That's just like that's a song that means bad times.
Yeah, okay, good. They basically know that John Jones can no longer pass the level of scrutiny that you get.
Even though he had a passport.
Yeah, but they go, this is bullshit. It was probably written in crayon or something like that.
Yeah.
And then so they're all fucking on his back. And they've seen pictures of him in Panama with his wife. They know
Poor
he's
John.
alive. This is what John does next. He walks into a police station claiming to have amnesia and have just woken up from amnesia, which is not how amnesia works. And goes, I have no memory of the past 5 years.
The idea that he'd know how long it was, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
It's not a bad move.
Yeah, and the police already suspected Darwin might not have been dead since Anne, despite portraying herself as a broken-hearted widow, took foreign holidays, planned to sell the family home in Hartlepool to move to Panama, and transferred large sums of money abroad. So the police had already started investigating 3 months prior to Darwin's reappearance.
What's insane is people have not watched enough. Okay, if you commit a crime and you haven't been caught and you want to not go to prison, what you do is you very quickly move to a country that does not have an extradition treaty with whatever country you're in.
Yeah.
You don't go back and forth. You don't fuck with it. You just move and
Plastic
you have
surgery.
to accept you'll never return.
Yeah.
That's it.
And his sons don't even speak to him now. Well, one of them does, so it really wasted that, you know. They should have flown the loyal one out.
You lose the whiny kid.
Lose the whiny one. He's like, this is immoral.
Why did you make
Like,
me
mate, I
think
wanted
you
a canoe
did?"
hotel, you little shit.
Yeah. Making money, for someone to make money, someone else has to suffer. And in this case, it was you, son. You suffered so daddy could be rich.
Exactly. Anyway, they both go to jail. Anne gets, she was let out in 2011. So they both let out, and so he didn't do that long. He did like 3
Where do they
years
live
in jail.
now, though?
So I looked up what he's doing now. He lives in the Philippines, married to a much younger Filipino woman.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
The thing is, he's got a great life out of it.
I think so.
Yeah, it worked out for him in the end. Then.
Yeah. I'm sure he's still telling lies out there. I hope he gets to canoe occasionally.
I wonder if they call him Canoe Man.
Yeah, man. No, they won't know about it out there, I doubt.
They all have Google. They'd be like, you'd still be like, who's this new white dude who lives next door? You know?
But he's paid back 140 quid of his debt.
That's not a lot.
No, he owes $500,000. Imagine transferring like 30 quid, then another 30 quid, because that's basically what he's done. I doubt it was all at once. So yeah, that is the story.
John Darwin.
John Darwin, the Canoe Man.
I like him.
Yeah.
I think, anyone who wants to make a pile of money has to do something kind of immoral.
Yeah, and he was a teacher and former prison officer, which is quite fun. Both sort of authority roles, you know?
Yeah. I'd love it if one of my ex-teachers did something crazy. Whenever a teacher gets in trouble, you think that there's a
wish
bunch
that was
of
my
kids.
teacher.
I really do, because it brings me so much joy to know that someone who taught me was up to some criminal thing.
Well, then the Monday in school would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Unless it's like that horrible fucking thing that happened recently, where that man killed his wife who was the teacher.
yeah, obviously that's different, right?
Yeah.
That's not exactly what I was thinking about. Yeah, no, that would be bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And that's actually not, that isn't the teacher doing something bad. That's just a teacher being murdered.
Yeah,
A very
yeah.
different scenario.
It is different. Proves yet again, though I like fun, I have a very strong moral stance on right and wrong.
I tried out a joke about. I was trying out this joke about murder. I was saying how people like talk about suicide's always sad, and then I was like, well, not if it's a murder suicide attempt. Well, then that's a happy ending.
Why? Because what do you mean? So they both survive?
Well, no, because someone wants to kill someone else, and then themselves. They
so it's attempted murder and complete suicide.
Yeah. I mean, that's a happy ending considering
God.
what they're going for. But anyways, no one really laughed. Obviously, it's not maybe the most accessible bit of comedy.
Yeah.
I just thought the point was,
I get. No, that's. I can keep going with that.
Yeah, I'll get there. I'll get there. And
No, I think it is.
But I did that bit, and then I realized, I was like a couple miles away from where that murder-suicide did just happen. And I realized maybe the words too soon would come into play here.
Yeah.
Also, not a very good joke. A lot was happening.
Yeah, people don't like it.
No, they didn't hate it.
If you do
They
a
just
joke
went quiet. They
when
just were quiet.
happened
They were
recently.
quiet, and I relieved the tension somehow afterwards that I had very much created. They're still on my side as an audience. They didn't think I had any ill will, but they weren't ready to laugh about it.
Okay.
Which I thought was fair.
Imagine, if you but what if you both survive? You're like, for fuck's sake.
Well, then you're going to prison.
You're going to jail. That's
and
all
everyone hates you because you're a monster.
Imagine murder-suicide, then you get back together.
I would say
We
it's probably,
both had our flaws.
It's probably an abusive relationship.
He was depressed, and I annoyed him to the point that he wanted to murder me.
Well, I don't
and
think,
kill himself.
Yeah, I don't know if the victim blaming in that situation.
I don't think you're meant to be together if that happens.
Yeah. Wow, Red, these are strong stances you're taking.
We got Fiona Bruce on this week.
Yeah, I'm surprised John Darwin and his wife split up because, once you've been through that, may as well. But then he met a younger, hotter Filipino. Vacuum cleaner caused 10 million Cutty Sark fire. Have you ever gigged on the Cutty Sark?
I don't know. I've been into Cutty Sark.
Yeah. The Cutty Sark, for those who don't know, is an old ship, which is now a tourist attraction.
Okay. No, maybe I haven't. I thought it was a neighborhood.
Sits in Greenwich.
Okay.
Cutty Sark's a stop on the tube on the DLR.
Yeah, that's why I was confused.
So it's named that because of the boat.
Oh, because this
and
old
the boat sailed the Atlantic in the 19th century or something like that.
Okay.
Or
something like that.
Something like
You're
that.
the one telling the story.
My main interest is the fire, not the sea.
Or something like that. Okay, so
yeah, it did it. Yeah, whatever. Some time ago, and people go, I did a gig on it back in 26. Actually, it was me and Mark Dolan did a gig on the Cutty Sark. Yeah,
GB News presenter.
GB News, Mr. Cut Up his mask live on air. Don't give a fuck. The 2-pack of angry older white people. Anyway, so no, he was a nice man, and he sold most of the tickets, and I got half the money. So thanks, Mark. Anyway,
keep cutting up those masks.
Yeah, keep cutting the masks and bring them in. Yeah, it was a fire, but this is what's funny. So they're doing a £25 million refurbishment. So they close it for 2 years.
Okay,
and there's a team on board who I don't think were a crack team of people.
What year was this?
2007.
This is when the
This is
fire
why
happened.
we're doing it on the fucking episode.
But I thought you were saying, I thought something else could have happened.
No.
You're saying this is when it happened.
This is when it happened.
I thought, because sometimes, it's like the ship could have been reopened and then the...
Yeah, well, it's open now because I'm gigging on it.
Okay, tell me.
You could nearly set ablaze that night as well.
That'd be a lie because you bombed.
I kind of did bomb, actually. I think I made that joke as well, going, oh. And I think they went, nah, we don't. You know when an audience gets your joke and just goes, nah.
I wouldn't have laughed.
Sometimes I go, they
didn't
didn't
laugh
get
when
it.
you said it to me.
Anyway, someone left a vacuum cleaner on for 2 days on this old ship. And what they found out when they got there is the man who was meant to be looking after it was asleep in a cafe. And he had a Bible for some reason. So he'd read the Bible, passed out in this cafe, left the Hoover on, forgot about it.
And then left.
Yeah, no.
2 days.
But imagine reading the Bible, falling asleep, and then waking up to a ship on fire.
Well, it's like, if he was reading, like, Old Testament, like Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Did I cause this?
Yeah, did I cause... Yeah.
Was this me?
Yeah. So he wakes up to that. And then they found out that, because you know when you go and like do a job, you have to check in and on something. I used to work as a caretaker, and you have to log in when you were there and tick what you'd done, and then log out when you were finishing.
Yeah.
Punching in, they call it. The working men,
And women.
and women,
And people.
and people. Anyway, they found that
And children.
the log entry for
And
that.
children. Some children
Some children
work.
do work. And
It's
very,
called- it's
very
called
bloody
child
hard
labor.
as well. It is
yeah,
called child
and
labor.
it's frowned upon in this country, but in other countries,
It's a very productive nursery, isn't
those
it?
children are bringing home the bacon. Yeah,
They are.
I sent
When was
Mabel.
the last time Mabel came back with some Nike trainers
Yeah,
that
if
she'd made
if
herself?
I sent Mabel to nursery, and then she got whatever she made when she was at nursery work
Yeah.
or daycare work.
She comes back with just a glitter smudge and goes, "Daddy, I made this." It's like, that's good, Mabel, because my hoodie was made by someone your age.
Yeah, could
and
you
this
maybe,
keeps me warm.
Could you
What am
maybe
I going to do with this?
focus on like clothing we could wear as a family? Maybe like a belt.
Yeah, nice belt.
need a
for-
new
for
belt.
Daddy. So the log entry for that day had been ripped out and then found in a bin 3 days later down the road. So they searched the whole place. What's funny is in the article from the Evening Standard, they go, police and fire investigators found the Italian-made machinery.
I like that.
Yeah,
Let them
just
know. Not
throw
from-
in who did it. It was Italian-made. And he left a Hoover on for 2 days, switched on during the weekend before the blaze erupted. So he fell asleep, went back. Fucking hell, sorry.
So you're telling me if I want
Just
to
on
start.
the Independent website, and story came up just next week going, price of cigarettes to rise from 6 p.m. tonight. That is crap.
Not good for you. You're
Second
still a
story
smoker.
goes, fire engulfs 400-year-old hotel housing Ukrainian refugees. Fuck, cigarettes are going up now.
But you're like one of 8 people left that still smoke cigarettes.
No, you still find him. I was on set yesterday, and this lady said, "No," I said, "Has anyone got a lighter?" And 3 people said yes. And I said, "That's nice." God, these stories are horrible. Sorry, I'm going to ignore it. Met police officer sacked after admitting child sexual.
Why are you reading this?
It's because it's on the side fucking panel bar. By the
This is like being
story.
trapped in Red's head.
Yeah, but I just because I saved this article for my research, and now it's just giving me other.
You use the word research very liberally. My research.
My studies.
Oh, just. What else has your research
Richard
told
Doty,
you?
chief executive of the Cutty Sark Trust, refused to comment on the claims of lax management of the site. Yeah.
Well, like, you're not going to check every vacuum cleaner's turned off.
No. Well, no, you are, because they make a noise as well, and that is your job. And also, if you're dealing with a place that precious, then yeah, maybe.
So what happened to
It
the
cost
guy?
£35 million.
What happened to the guy who started the fire? Did he fake his own death? And-
No, he. To be honest, you kind of get it with him. He, I think they just disgraced, and he's probably never allowed near a Hoover again.
That's a great punishment, actually.
You can't.
You're
Hoover.
not allowed to vacuum. Well, clearly, I
Yeah.
fucking hate vacuuming. Like,
Brilliant. Yeah, you'd actually want to do that, wouldn't you?
yeah, that's a great. You're never allowed to do dishes again. Oh
Yeah.
no.
What's getting cancelled in a shit job like? You know what I mean? They go, well, you shouldn't have this work. You go, oh, no.
Yeah.
I wanted to continue in the iPhone factory.
Yeah, but well, then you probably still. The reason you're there is because maybe the prospects weren't very exciting otherwise. So now you can't get any job.
So you couldn't get... Because if I'd be bloody wanking in front of everyone if I had to make iPhones.
But he could do it fire safety,
Try and get cancelled. What?
safety business.
Yeah.
Learn from me
Well,
what not to
don't
do.
do this.
Don't
And he turns on the Hoover and goes, this is bad.
turn it off.
Okay, so big year for tech. And as I just mentioned, the iPhone, launched by Steve Jobs, I think you pronounce it,
Okay.
launched the iPhone in 2007.
When did he die?
When did Steve Jobs die, Jody?
I feel like Jody mourned him. Jody, you give off a
Yeah.
you give off a vibe where like Steve Jobs' death ruined your week.
I don't recall.
I don't
the
remember
biography
it,
is
to be honest.
amazing, though, if you've not read that.
I've
by
seen the
Walter
film
Isaacson.
with Michael Fassbender. 2011, fucking hell.
I mean, it feels like yesterday.
I don't remember it at all.
I miss you, Steve.
Yeah. But I remember iPhones and they were like I didn't know they were going to stay. You know, you felt like, oh, it's this new thing. I didn't get an iPhone till 2014.
I feel like Steve, like, I always related to him because powerful guy. I'm a powerful guy.
Mm-hmm.
He adopted. I'm also adopted.
His daughter hated him.
That's the future, not the present. Let's not. And on top of that,
Yeah, you're gonna die soon.
he was just like a notorious asshole.
Didn't he treat himself for cancer? So he was like homeopathy.
Oh, that's a terrible thing.
Yeah, and they were like,
That's
"Hey,
so dumb.
you need chemo."
I think it's something like that. He also used to fast a lot, and Bobby forgets to eat.
Ooh,
We have a lot. Me and Steve have a lot in common.
a lot in common. You
The
take
only-
all the credit whilst there's loads of people behind the scenes doing the other stuff.
I mean, if you keep saying that on my podcast, I'll get someone else to host it with me.
You'd be like, "We want Red, but smaller, this size."
Yeah, Red, could you find me a version of you, but someone less big?
yeah, less big. I want to fit you in my pocket.
Yes, yeah, where you should be metaphorically at all times, in my pocket.
But yeah, iPhones now. I don't think you meet the occasional flip phone guy.
Those people are, listen, they're so smug. Oh, I don't have a smartphone. And
I'm
it's
off
like,
grid.
oh, good for you. You know what that makes me think? That you have some fucking pornography problem.
But
That's why I'm assuming you don't have a smartphone,
Yeah.
okay? It's not because you fucking are better than all of us. It's because you jerked off on a bus. So stop
Agreed.
bragging to me about your BlackBerry. You can't even fucking get a picture text.
Yeah, and also you can have an iPhone, but you don't need the apps. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it's not my fault. You have no self-control. I
Yeah.
also don't have self-control, but I'm not pretending. I'm better than
you
everybody.
Just sat in it. You know,
Yeah,
just
I'm
gone,
just
"This is who I
sitting
am."
in it. Listen, at the end of my life, people are going to say, what did Bobby achieve? You know what? He looked at his phone for 9,000 hours. That was his actual
God,
biggest
that's horrible, isn't it?
achievement. Bobby's biggest achievement in life was staring at a screen.
Mhm.
He died as he lived, staring at a screen.
Yep.
He collapsed onto himself. He read Google News and he was dead.
Google got news.
You never use Google News?
No, just
It's
Google
a news,
search.
news aggregate.
Did not know.
It correlates a lot of different news sources into one.
Okay.
And then it has an algorithm that determines what kind of news you'll like. So for me, I get a lot of death.
Oh, really?
This person died in this place. This
Is that
person
what
died
you
in this
like?
place. It's just what I click on. That's what I click on.
Mm.
Yeah. I think by the end of my life, I will have spent most of my life looking at a screen.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But is it? What else should I be doing?
Well, the thing is, and also everyone goes, "Oh, I was at dinner the other day, and there was a
you could be
couple."
looking at a flower, or I could look at a flower on a screen.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a lot like a real flower, but I don't have to leave my couch.
and it glows in your eyes.
Yes, and it slowly melts my eyes.
But everyone used to read newspapers around the breakfast table, you know?
Yeah,
This whole like, oh, everyone's just on their screens. And you go, well, it's always been that way.
yeah. I'm sorry. The screen gives me everything I need.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gives me
I've got all
companionship.
my info.
It gives me my info. My money is
It can't
now
be
on
good
my
for you,
phone.
though. I don't need this much information. I don't think I'm brighter for it. I don't know more than I used to.
No, I don't.
I think I know
never.
less.
Nobody thinks you did. Nobody's sitting here thinking Red has become a genius since you got a phone. Since 2007 and the release of the iPhone, Red's genius has blossomed.
Talking of genius, 2007, subprime mortgages. The French bank BNP Paribas in the United Kingdom blocks withdrawals from three hedge funds heavily committed in subprime mortgages, signaling the financial crisis of 2007 to 2008.
I
Are
remember.
you
I remember
aware?
when it happened.
Yeah.
There was a financial crash.
Well, Jody was a millionaire. Do you remember?
Yeah, Jody had 9 properties.
He had long hair, long blonde hair.
0% mortgages on
Mhm.
9 properties that
Yeah.
he rented out to. They weren't. Jody didn't call them sex slave. He just called them his ladies. But
Girlfriends.
yeah, his girlfriends. He had 12.
And he said, you have to lock the door, otherwise my girlfriends escape. They're
Yeah.
very much like
They
you know,
thought
house
that was
cats.
people thought it was funny. They thought he was joking, but in fact, they did. Then it would. And so Jody.
But he lost the houses, therefore losing them.
Sadly, the women were sold with the houses, so the new owners got a big surprise when they bought a
Mhm.
house.
Hmm.
And
Did you lose anything in the crash?
No, I didn't know.
I think the key to surviving a crash is having nothing,
Nothing.
to lose.
Yeah, that's my talent. Yeah,
I haven't
that's
lost
my
any.
skill.
To be honest, the cost of living crisis has gone on for pretty much since my parents cut me off.
Yeah, it's pretty ongoing.
You know what I mean? Ever since I moved out of home, I'm like, when has it been good?
Yeah.
So I don't really notice. Though I have noticed chicken has doubled in price in M&S.
Really?
Yep. Not happy about that.
What are you going to do?
Nothing. Keep buying it. Double for the price.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But to be honest, I think we're in a
What's the cheapest meat? They got to just
gammon or something.
if I was a meat people, I would just I mean, this is just where my
Are you going to start
no,
selling
this is
rat?
just where my brain goes. But I just say, listen, what's this? This is a bag of meat. What kind of meat? This is just meat.
It
We
doesn't
don't need
matter.
to go
Yeah,
into
don't
the
go
specifics.
into it. Why'd you have to
This
ask so
is
many questions?
the cheapest meat that we boil and then pack into cubes. This is a meat cube.
Yeah.
It'll give you the protein you need. You want to know what's in the meat cube? That's not going to be good for you to know what you're
Yeah.
eating.
And so the crisis was basically, as I understand it, they were lending people who couldn't afford money. They couldn't afford money. Jesus, couldn't afford houses, money.
Guys, you don't need to watch The Big Short. Red's really
I'm
going
here
to break
to break
this
it
down.
down for you.
The fucking subprime
Subprime
mortgage
mortgages.
crisis.
So they go, you can have a house with the pool, you know, and then they can't pay it back, and so everything just collapsed. Fucked
It
us.
was that simple.
Yeah, and that's what happened. And we're in it now. It's the worst time to buy, I think,
ever.
since 1842 or something.
It's just about to happen again after Silicon Valley Bank and today Credit Suisse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're fucked again.
Yeah.
Well, it's a couple banks are collapsing.
Yay! More fun for us.
Well, they overextended themselves.
So we had 2 crashes in 15 years. That's why I haven't been working too hard.
Really?
Because I don't want to lose it all.
So don't get it, don't lose it.
Yeah.
You're saving your mojo for when it's about
Why would
to get
I
it.
make a big cake only to see that cake thrown on the floor and stamped on?
That's a great point.
No cake for me.
And so you'll never eat any cake.
I'm just not going to bother. Because, you know, you make it and bloody hell, you know, next thing you know,
Yeah,
you're getting done for tax evasion.
I get that.
You know, your cleaner violates the NDA and says that you were rude around their house. It's just not worth the hassle.
Mm.
Who did that? Nigella Lawson, actually. Lovely Nigella. Her 2, assistants. She accused them of fraud because they stole 300 grand off her. And they were best friends. And they were like, yeah, but she does cocaine. You're like, yeah, but she gave you shitloads of money. What the fuck are you doing?
But did they steal the money from her?
Yeah. Yeah, they had a company account and they would just buy.
And then they
But
tried
she
to
was
rat her
she
out.
did loads of stuff for them that was beyond because she's a nice woman.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like her to be my boss. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe the year is with Nigella Lawson. Does that sound? How does that sound?
Yeah, well, she's did a divorce from Charles Sarchi.
Really?
Well, let's see if she's single now. We could hook her up with Jody.
Jody, are you interested in Nigella Lawson?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me.
How old is this woman? I don't know.
She must be 50 or something now.
What's your Jody dating wise? What's your max age? Well, I'm not going to ask minimum because I'm afraid of the answer. But
103.
what's your max? Yeah, 107.
My wife's ill. She's 105.
What's your max age, Jody?
How old is Nigella Lawson?
I think she's 50, 55.
Yeah.
So she was married to a journalist called John Darwin. You're kind of a journalist, Jody, so you're in with a chance there. Tied the knot. She had a daughter called Cosima and a son, Bruno.
So you'd be a stepdad, Jody.
Oh my God, John died. Fuck, I didn't know that. At the age of 47. Why is that? That's horrible.
I'm laughing because
Oh no.
her husband died.
Why is that
So
funny?
she's single.
No, Jody, shut.
You're
Stop sniffing around this widow.
I'm laughing because of the way you presented the information.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, Charles Sarchi turns up. Do you know him? I bet you don't know who Charles Sarchi is.
Who's John? John was her first husband then.
Yeah, but who's Charles Sarchi? Go on. Let's see how ignorant this man is. Go on.
The guy from Versace.
Yeah, and he put the ver in. No, he runs art galleries.
Okay.
And it was also in
Saatchi & Saatchi.
advertising.
Yeah, advertising. Saatchi & Saatchi, they do advertising and stuff like that. So
I was close with the Versace.
big deal. You know why they divorced?
His balls were too big, and she was sick of them protruding out of his underwear when he walked around the house.
No,
just drooping.
He joined ISIS. He got radicalized.
That's not true.
No, it's not true. So he listened to Bin Laden reading children's books, and there
Harry
was,
Potter.
we didn't know that Bin Laden was actually radicalizing people secretly. 100 pages in, when the parents had left and the kids were asleep.
Now we know.
And now we know. We trusted him, and he let us down. He strangled her in. There's pictures of him grabbing her throat in an argument outside.
What
a
a
restaurant.
fun story you've told me. A really fun spin-off.
How did we get to Nigeria?
All we wanted was Jody to date Nigella Lawson.
No, we're trying to work out.
You're telling me about her husband died. The next one chokes her.
I'm giving a Jody to not do list.
Okay,
don't die and don't choke her.
Those are actually instructions Jody needs.
So they became estranged and drifted apart. Yeah, no choke. There's an advert coming on. Sorry. I'm just trying to see if she's single now. Okay, for fuck's sake.
You know who I did see on the dating site the other day and sent a message to?
No, please.
Jody
yes,
took a big
yes,
swing.
Yes. Come on. Who?
Someone, Grace Campbell.
Oh my God, Jody. Are you actually kidding me?
No.
You sent...
Yeah.
What was
to be able to say on here that I did, yeah.
She's a comedian.
Go
She's
on.
a comedian. Jody's trying to hook up
She
with
didn't reply.
What did you say? Want to see my WMDs?
Yeah. What
I'm
is
a big
she?
fan of your dad's work. I too have killed many innocent people.
Yeah.
Want to meet up?
My work was a bit more hands-on.
I like to look people in the eyes,
Yeah.
but I'd never judge another man for his methods.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Whatever gets you through the day,
Jody,
Allie, boy.
fuck me. You
But Jody, what would you have done if she replied and said, "Hey, do you want to go out this week?"
I'd say, yeah, let's do it. Where are you based? What are you up to this weekend?
What if Jody starts dating her and bringing her around the podcast? What are we gonna do?
I don't know. Well,
Like she's just always she's the Yoko Ono. If Grace Campbell becomes the Yoko Ono of the year is, what would we do? How would we navigate that? Jody's in love. Jody's in love for maybe the first time ever, because now he really knows what real love is. And Grace loves Jody.
Yeah.
And like for who he is, loves to kiss his head. Like Jody's just embarrassed a bit because he's bald, and Grace kisses his head.
Yeah,
And
I let her kiss my head.
Yeah,
I
like-
don't let you kiss my
yeah,
head.
but Grace is allowed. How do you cope with that? Because he's so happy now, Red. Like he's happier than he's ever been. He has a boner like 24 hours a day. He's just like gleeful. Are we really gonna take that away from him? Just
no,
'cause
maybe not.
Jody, you only live once, and Jody's in love. How would we cope? What we should get her on as a guest.
What year would we do? 2000. When Jody... It's weird. There's a picture of Jody at the march against Iraq, and then here's Jody at Sunday lunch with Alistair Campbell.
Well,
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Okay. Well, in the Patreon, I'm actually doing improv with Kim Jong-un's son. He's got a podcast with his dad, actually, as well. So tune in for that, I think.
yeah. Stick around.
Okay, so our Super Genius Patreon.
Christopher, Spencer, Matthew, we love you. Thanks to everybody, all our other patrons. That was weird. Goodbye.
That was another episode of The Year Is. Thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe. Leave us a review. It all helps. I'd like to thank our producer, Jody. And also I'd like to thank Josh Weller for our intro music and song. It's very catchy. It's very nice. I'm sure you will enjoy it at the beginning. So big thanks for Josh Weller. He's on Instagram at Josh Weller. Josh Weller. Follow him and keep spreading the word of The Year Is. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.